jack of all trades type of agent that could really be self-sufficient on both attack and defense.
And a lot of role swaps on the Blue Otter side, all very flexible, but also maybe just a long-term project where Lover is usually playing a lot of the duelists, like the Yoru, the Neon. Oasis is the one who's played Chamber last. Kobe is that initiator flex, so kind of a lot of different looks from the Blue Otter side, hoping to settle in on these agents in particular.
So you're already seeing it here. So you have Colby starting off on the C side as that Chamber. He's going to look for control towards that mound, and when he finds contact, there's a flash that could support.
And Kobe going to be trying to dominate this hill while having the support of the Vice, of Sia in the back. But this door could open and YDZ could collapse, and there's the Paranoia Throne, and even the siege, but it grabs no one. Blue Water somehow escaped.
Easy TP out, but that gives good information that the hit's coming towards that C site. Nobody from Blue Water is currently rotating yet because they're trusting the firepower that you currently have with this double anchor up on C.
Nova's trying to find the right tempo too while roaming around A, because it's not a fully committed push for YDZ at this point. It's the Prowler up close. You clear that. You can see this Neon really ramp up if needed, but YDZ just trying to maybe get some confidence from a first pick, and it may just be off of the back of Nova clearing the way through A.
You're doing such a good job for YDZ. This is all a fake on the A side. It'll be open for C to plant. Thankfully, at least the trip is still going to get sounded with this pitch.
30
with this
seconds
patch,
left.
rather. But the plant will still come down for YDZ towards C.
Go, go, go.
What a hesitation from Blue Water. They rotated that side, had util in the hand, but Nova's quicker to the punch.
Spike planted.
It's a good fake, as you mentioned, so Spike goes down. Even enough time for Luna to extend. Frenzy gonna be limited on bullets depending on how many people you encounter. And here's the swing and the stun, and the trust, and the Cloudsy to confirm. It's great. Bodes well for the YDZ chances. Kobe, okay, does finish off Luna. Even gets the double, runs out of bullets. It's up to May to finish off what they started. But Cloudsy, an absolute menace for YDZ.
And that's exactly how you want to work that map with this composition here of the double controller for YDZ. You add pressure on front B. You open that door over to split towards that C side. You cut noise. You get your lurk activated from Nova to tap the door towards A. And then you cut noise again. Then you go for the re-hit towards the A side as a fake, and you see that Blue Water got their ankles broken. All of them were kind of congregated towards the defender spawn as the spike finally got planted towards that C site. And there was so much space taken by YDZ to push out towards that spawn and flip that map. So very nicely done, but that's an early round that Blue Water has to now understand. Yeah, exactly that, how you're going to try to spread across the map here for YDZ, and they do a great punish to start.
I can appreciate Luna trying to hit close with the slide no scope Marshall. Like, okay, we're cooking, we're heating up.
Them down.
But YDZ not gonna get anything out of that, and Nova will have to make the most out of the rubble control.
And they're good
Blue Water
here.
have their vice wall set up too on C.
That's the exact thing I was going to mention. Because that wall is not being pressured, they could push so many players in this eco towards this B lean while you count on your chamber to open things up. So a beautiful wall by Nova doesn't allow the chamber to get an aggressive line, and now that's a timing that will force Blue Water to play the retake towards the A site.
Haunt, thrown, Kobe out. Nova's been the one that kind of sparks up the pushes for YDZ. Now has to hold the right lane. Blue Water don't have much to advance on. So Blue Water just have to play this from front to back, and Nova clears that back right corner. So Blue Water with pressure through stairs. Within the smoke is Rover. Trying to find the right timing to swing against Oasis. The aim check, and the defuse almost gets clutch there.
I almost felt the bullets went stray too as they were lining up to get the first pick, and then suddenly it takes down May at the same time. I was going to say there was not too much utility available for Blue Water to really retake the site because they didn't have C's, they didn't have any nades, so you just had to move in as a team. So they leveraged their close smokes, got in, create a diversion with those players pushing through against a post planner hold of YDZ, and then you just had May attempt to just clutch it with the defuse. Thankfully, it didn't happen. You still have a strong buy for YDZ in your bonus round because you capitalized with so many players still alive.
Oh. Okay. Nova's still in this. Kobe is back on the hill. And now Luna ramps up and tries to bait. No way does Luna get away with that at 4 HP. Sia will still punish, but that was still a lot for Luna to get through. And now the Vice Wall is set up for B, so a lot more attention will be called from Sia to watch C.
So that's YDZ, yeah, exactly that. Has to work that pressure again, find some information. So they prowler towards Rubble, but they haven't really engaged into that area. So Blue Water knows, at least for now, it's a potential fake, especially after that haunt being thrown. So you can kind of just keep Oasis at that spot, and they can just anchor up towards that A site. And Sia is just going to listen for information once YDZ decides to re-hit towards the C site as a group.
Toxin screen down.
And Sia is just gonna be in a position to call this out and escape. Of course, having a flash would enable them in that fight, but almost would rather set it up at back B in that hallway. But reinforcements have arrived. May and Waterfall. Plant goes through. Now, Blue Water are on the clock. You got Thorns right in May's way. YDZ don't want to be playing through sand either. They want to be in a position to trade and be the firing squad. Blue Water have their flash denied, it seems, from Sia. Kind of a slow-going affair, but here's the flood in from Blue Water. The satchel thrown from Oasis to try and dislodge YDZ, but cute Asa. His corner is theirs. Lover gets them down for the count. And Blue Water do a good job of trading, but eventually YDZ hold the ground.
And it's Nova and Cloudzy at 5 and 7 HP respectively. And I even think Nova had 7 HP walking into the C site because they had to do a mini Bogdan's Law to switch weapons around. And somehow they're able to hold that post plant. You talked about a flash denial as CEO is trying to throw that Arc Rose back into the C site. But it was supposed to be a combination with Lover's Haunt so that it could potentially get value off a blind Haunt and ping some players out so they could spam through the smoke. But unfortunately, it was missed time, and both of that util got broken quite easily, forcing now Blue Water to be on another eco, and they're actually pinging to be careful for this split. So you're showing the same time of hand potentially here for YDZ with his Prowler in front of B, but now it's just an all-out move into the B site. Keep your Omen in the back here as Cloudsy's going to get that information, and that might engage the hit for the rest of YDZ to just convert into the B site.
Door is open, the opportunity is there, but YDZ had to really scrap through it. It's not clean against mostly pistols of Blue Water. And now it's becoming cleaner as YDZ settle in, step forward towards the C site. Kobe, though, still being threatening towards the right side of the map, but will take them some time to rejoin where the objective will be.
That was a clean shot by Colby. At the same time, though, it's good damage that that Blue Water has done for this round. Especially when YDZ seems so committed to open that door and pincer towards this mount again and get the player towards that back of that top C entrance. Got a backstab on a couple.
Definitely possible with how split YDZ are right now. Coming through Waterfall, only one place Blue Water can be. A lot of low HP members. Kobe. Asa here. Oh, good swing. Better shots. And it's just a 1v1, but no time for Lover. Have to be a win now, and it's YDZ on a hot streak.
You'll definitely take it from the side of Blue Water to be able to do so much damage like that with an eco. Pressuring out towards that C mountain, even getting those two players that were still alive somehow flip the map where they found themselves towards the C side attacker spawn. And you lose those players, you still ended up on a 1v1. I'm going to take that any day here as a coach or a fan of Blue Water. And now that allows for them to build the econ. Full shields. They have a Nightfall to work with because of all of these shots that were coming through here as well for the eco of Blue Water and carrying these over from round to round with these deaths as well. They have a chance now to start to fight back on their defensive side.
Prowler's going to reveal Kobe and... no escape there. Okay, able to teleport out. Sure, Blue Water will have Kobe at 11 HP. Orb grabbed for YDZ in a Steel Garden. That deny a lot. Even just clear out A. Wait, been some trouble through spawn. Blue Water starting to flank. It's a nightfall from YDZ. They're going for plan B after being discovered. Counter nightfall from the defense. Won't even get the tail of YDZ, so they go unaffected. And a deep push from Luna. It's gonna catch Blue Water off guard, and the overdrive kicks into gear. May will have another chance at life, and now there's a lot of numbers for Blue Water, and somehow went from A to B to ending at C for YDZ.
May's gonna die, but at least hurt the plant towards that C side, could start the push here and call to rotate from Blue Water. So the space that they gain allows Blue Water to start setting up this split into from waterfall, C mountain pressure.
Difficult route to push through for Blue Water. Going through waterfall, not knowing what's at the very back of the site. YDZ all on their own. They've clutched before, 1v2. They just have to stop the fight from getting diffused. And what was that? A Red Bull clutch? Insane.
And Cloudsy just understands where they have to spray when it comes down to the plant hugging into the wall. Even if the smoke doesn't allow for you to see too much, you could just look at the line of the wall of how it comes up here on that left side. You go for that spray, aligning the wall bang, and you get a beautiful shot. Even the first one, though, I barely saw the head of that second player trying to defend the diffuser. You talked about YDZ taking full control. They absolutely have it now. The opportunity that Blue Water had with the Nightfall before fully canceled, but the other hope is now the Tilda False of the Chamber of Colby on that now spotted.
And they've been able to go back and forth against Luna. Trying to find the right opportunities to really ramp up as the Neon. And Oasis maybe trying to protect this Vice Wall a bit better. It's been checked almost every round. Trying to switch things up and catch YDZ off guard, but just caught sidestepping, so couldn't get a clean shot into Luna. And back to square one.
And it works for the pivot towards A. I mean, you already went for a head-to-head battle with the Rays. You know that the Tilda False and the Prowler saw at least one player on Mound, and that's been a position that Colby's been holding every single time. So it's just an easy push and a pivot back from YDZ towards the A site, and reading it correctly. It's a weak site. There's only two players there, one anchored in with only a pistol. While May just got smoked out.
No Nightfall for Lover to try and hold this back while stunned. Luna's on the hunt. The Steel Garden to just...
30 seconds left.
Oh, cut the heel, and I guess catch anyone from Blue Water that could be lurking around. Now this is Luna really ramping up, and why they're the primary duelist of this team, but okay, Rover caught a bit lacking. The op has been heard. Kobe just gets aim checked and succeeds.
That's the retake with the Yop. He's mentioning Asa trolling with the ult because you're playing against an Taiko. They already had business. And maybe it's just to try to eliminate potentially the Tilda False away here from Colby, and they respect how much damage Colby could do with the Yop, especially those type of shots. But now it is 6 unanswered rounds for YDZ and Op on the attack side for cute Asa still. And a rifle round on the side of Blue Water, and they unfortunately still haven't found real ways to take control of that map. They're doing it correctly, at least at the very beginning, to try to take control of Rubble with this 3-player push, the chamber up towards that C site, leaving the wall towards B. What happens in the mid round? How do you continue to move forward? How can you gain that space? That all hasn't been thought out yet.
Ooh. I think that YDZ are trying a different approach to that C-mount control from Blue Water, but now knowing that Blue Water are not going to immediately peak, it's going to be a little bit tricky without investing until Kobe at a different spot catches cute Ace off guard, and May wins over into Rubble. Kobe really creating some threat here towards spawn. And I mean, YDZ haven't even left spawn. This is so cooked. And the 6th win streak ends to a flawless by Blue Water.
And that is what we wanted more. What was going to happen towards the mid round? The triple control towards Rubble becomes a triple push. They close down that gap. The wall, yes, definitely got tested, but nobody was really pushing towards that C side yet. So they still had an understanding that YDZ were still holding back towards that spawn. And Colby just tucks in where he could TP away, but also where he's not going to get affected by a Vice Flash. So he gets two beautiful openers, catching Q-Asa and Cloudsy off guard, allowing finally Blue Water to pick up a round just off heroic plays. He only had a Headhunter and got a kill with that. I mean, didn't even use the Guardian that he bought.
Hey, Oasis. They've been on rubble duty, and YDZ's trying to wait out the smoke. That's when you can get staggered from each other while trying to cross it. Howler is going to reveal that lurk on the right side. And YDZ are trying to re-clear through their own spawn with all the pressure Blue Water have been throwing at them towards that. I don't blame YDZ for wanting to take this one step at a time, and Kobe just gets sussed out. Great read from YDZ. They're learning every round, but Luna has been isolated by the Vice Wall, but there's no one within C to do anything about it.
Yeah, especially that you're playing solo on site. You do have an important ult to work with for C, so wait for the rotate. Make sure you clear out towards that front B site, that there's no late lurks, and then you can just flood back with the ult.
The Prowler's already been used. Lover won't have another one. It's a Steel Garden to break in. Oasis on the hunt. Oh, Rover's at 24 HP. I can't believe that didn't get the kill. Cute Asa in this round alive. Rover just gets spammed through the smoke. Still two left. The spike is being defused. The spike is being held. And Cloudsy can't say anything about it.
Yeah, that's the unfortunate part of how YDZ didn't play that pulse plant to perfection. They were able to Prowler out, and they know that the site was open. They pushed C away into Waterfall, yet we didn't try to move up and get a plant towards Mountain, where the last two players are playing towards two. How the hell do you want to try to defend the spike when it's being so deep down towards that bend? You can't really help out for the spray, so you're running back into a player's just set up to mow you down when you're running through the entrance of the C site. But if anything, though, it's still nice from Blue Water how they retook that site. And now they have a chance really to get a good idea of how to play this map.
Okay, Blue Water.
Poison's off.
Definitely feeling the heat here. A big ol' Uncle Odin here from Lover. Just screaming through all these smokes. If YDZ are not careful, they're gonna have to skip past that. Luna hoping to scrap through with the Stinger, and there's the Odin being revealed. Surprised YDZ still want to try and explore this obstacle course, because Asa isn't making too much headway towards C, and Cloudsy gets the opening. May got a little too impatient, stepped up, and Cloudsy has just been on a tear this entire map, but the coast is not completely clear. YDZ are not safe. They'll have thorns to deny stairs, and they're still trying to bait the attention of Blue Water, but these positions have been denied, and YDZ now have a site to plant in.
You're exactly right. It's just the impatience. May swinging out when the Prowler's still trying to clear towards the left side, but they don't really have anybody watching rubble. Now it makes the retake impossible because you have an op to try to retake with a rifle. Yeah, you still maybe have an arc rose to try to flash towards that back of the site, but if YDZ's not showing leg, there's no excuse for you to retake this site. They show, not leg, they show their hair. It got denied.
Yeah, not the Bob.
Last player standing.
Kobe has been so clean in those shots, but the earlier mistakes from Blue Water will cost the round, and now this op will not be kept any longer. If anything, maybe gifted to YDZ if they want to pick that up. Not interested.
Yeah, I think especially with the neon that they have, they want to be quite more explosive in the way that they're trying to hit the sites. Although I would still respect getting an op on the attack side because they are defaulting very slowly at the very beginning. So using the op to maybe cut lines could be a good call, but maybe not need it yet because you're still in the lead 7-2. If anything, though, they're doing a great job understanding where Colby's kind of like really setting up. If you're looking from round to round, he's always in a different spot, setting his TP in a different spot, and just trying to find an edge and an advantage here against YDZ. But they flush him out every time.
Water just so aggressive from pushing through C spawn. Now they're doing it from the A side. Are they going to want to cross that threshold? YDZ. Map control they have is their spawn, and maybe towards B, and they're going to Nightfall after dodging the Vice Wall. So Lover gets out of the way. May carves their way through spawn, and YDZ just have to set their sights forward, and so they do as a unit. A death ball. They storm into C, and that's where they'll end up. And Luna just isn't slowing down. They almost went into mound and could have been a victim. Gotta take it one step at a time.
How good are they at moving around the map here for YDZ? We'll talk about that in a second, though, because now Blue Water will try to retake the site from the front mounds, and nope, not like that.
Wow, through the smoke. Okay, now there's just two teams barking at the other side of smoke. Steel Garden. Run from the offense. Blue Water, that's just to kill some time. And now even the neon wall up. I like all these tricks. Blue Water just barely getting any sight lines to see where the threat is.
Gotta save.
Such a difficult sight. Yeah, enough time has been wasted. This is the decision.
And the decision they made to even pivot towards Waterfall, I think it was intuition more than understanding what was going on as well. Because when they went for the Nightfall, nobody was towards Baby Door. Nobody got hit from heaven. And then you also saw a push coming out from the A site where Nova actually died to. I think it was May pushing in the front of the A site entrance. So they're like, okay, well, there's a lot of pressure on the extremities, especially with this type of aggressive push. Let's just go towards Waterfall. And they meet nobody in that area for YDZ, which allows for them to just plant quite easily and play the pulse plan that they did. A nice little answer back where Blue Water thought that they started to understand here and get a little bit more out of these rounds with how Kobe has opened up the rounds for the team. But he needs a little bit more from his teammates here to try to close this gap.
Poison's off.
And the Kobe did have a Prowler on their way, so YDZ are trying new things, and Nova, this is a new round for them as well. What an opener. This is inspirational plays. YDZ, of course, gonna head towards A. Now there's some loud stomping from Blue Water through B, so I like the neon walls from Luna to kind of break up that play. Now this could be an important cutoff through breakable door, and Nova could be the hero once again. The crouch threw them off though, and May has found a way to get behind YDZ. But can you get in their heads too? Door opens. Kudesa has to answer one, and both sides of the door stopped. Even getting around. That would have been a funny triple kill, but YDZ are certainly heading for a dominant map win too.
And now you have to give it to the lurk this time around from Nova. The amount of times that Blue Water has been pressing towards that rubble and then holding it or pushing through. This time Nova sees that there's no real prowlers coming deep into the A area, so he's like, all right, let me just, they're like, let me just try to find a timing. Walks out, gets a double kill out in the open, and then just sneak bites the delay, allowing the rest of YDZ to rotate across. For a team, for Blue Water, who's been so dominant, you mentioned 5-0 on this map, especially as the Equinox roster, they are not able to find anything here on the YDZ's map. Attack side.
Yeah, the big playmaker has been Kobe, and maybe it is due to the Blue Water role swaps or trying out different comps, different agents, but
Toxins going up.
ultimately it's just maybe needing this map 1 as a wake-up call, or maybe they'll truly flourish on the second half.
Toxin screen down.
I'm really believing in Lover here. We'll be going head-to-head against Nova. Potentially stop this push from YDZ, and Lover's going to be needed. Actually, the Nightfall could be thrown. But who can really get eyes and ears going to make that call? Oh, Nova strikes quickly. The Nightfall may not even have time to be thrown. YDZ already on track to plant with the pit in place. This is a fortress.
There's still a gap, though, on the back of that site. So they're planning towards main. I would have liked for these two players to start holding towards that left side. Leave the Omen to find the information first, and then let the other two play within that pit and control left side stairs. And they do that to perfection so far.
May will have the ult to keep fighting if they choose to.
Teleport's
Now
ready.
Blue Water will be exploring within the pit. And Kobe denies any kind of flank. And now their attention needs to be called on the front lines. There's the Clovold activated. Blue Water evicting everyone from within the pit. And it's successful for Blue Water to get them to a 3-9 half.
Comes down to the heads up play from Kobe once again. The Sixth Sense to just stay anchored up to look towards that spawn. They think right now at the scenario
Switching
where
sides.
YDZ were at a disadvantage on what, a 3 versus 4, that somebody has to try to make a play. Rover did just that, walked into the crosshair, set up by Kobe with a total false, falls down for the 8th time of that half, getting no value off that flank, and it doesn't allow for the last 2 players to get good ground control to hold that post plant. So it came down to that. Blue Water now, at least they get the last round of the half, and now they take the attack side. But I don't think it's going to be as easy for them either. They're not playing double controller. You can't lurk as well. You're still counting as on Colby to open things up solo here, and he's starting things off on the A site.
It'll be tough on the offense, especially against the Neon. So Chamber does get revealed. Spike left behind, and now it's time to figure out what is going to be the Sentinel setup from Cute Asa. Where is that wall gonna be? The thorns that stay in Oasis's way. Now YDZ's attention will be called now that that's been triggered. The Prowler reveals them close, so Blue Water, I like that they're working the map and taking as much util out of YDZ's hands as they can. Now using the flash of Sia. Oh, that paranoia from YDZ, well timed, and the smoke too. Blue Water are about to storm in. Now they're going to pivot towards C, right into the hands of someone like Rover and Cute Asa that have been powerhouses in the past. And shutting down that duelist is a good start to this pistol. Blue Water still trying to figure out where they want to end
30
up.
seconds
Yeah,
left.
again.
Go through the walls, and Cloudsy just thought the right click was enough. Didn't keep shooting. And Luna wants to hit the back line where they can. Blue Water really trapped within the site, starting to get surrounded by YDZ. And just a haunt left from Rover. Blue Water gonna take matters into their own hands and push out these duels one by one and take these 3 versus 1s all they can. That Vice Wall buys so much good time for Blue Water. YDZ cut off a little bit. Nova takes an L. Cute Asa Rover up next. And it's just a firing squad. But wait, man, to convert 4 to make that winnable for Blue Water.
Dude, great shots coming out from Rover. We just talked about him being 1 and 8 going into the half and gets a beautiful triple kill and almost saves that round there for YDZ for the retake. Kudasa kind of trolled to just not wait for his teammate, or their teammates rather, so they could double swing outside of that wall, so they could really help that 3rd player who's just left on an island trying to keep them at bay. And I think that was Nova moving forward, if I'm not mistaken. That said, Blue Water, they were able to fight back the way that it did, flip the map back in their favor to break towards breakable after they got that plan towards B.
I'm out of here.
Now it's fighting Chan's on the attack side. Luna's just trying to go for a solo play inside.
Oh, we didn't see it. You know what? Didn't even see it. All good, Luna. That's so hard to play the Neon when you got to ramp up like that. I was trying to play off the C's that was thrown, but it was shaky, and now Blue Water take advantage of the weaker point of the map, but maybe too comfortable because now it's being met by a lot of force. Still Blue Water clear through that, and now the lane is clear to go plan A.
Easy kills with classics too. We'll take that any day for the set of YDZ on a full classic save. Good here on YDZ to flip that map.
Spike planted.
Planning here for the spawn. Now Nova, I mean Kudasa just got spotted because they just broke that wall left towards that C side.
Toxin screen down.
Kind of just double set up for the exits on that at that point. It's okay if you don't get any kill towards the end if Blue Water decide to retreat back towards the spawn.
Down here. Toxin screen
You're
down.
not going to give any orbs away to your opponents.
I'm just trying to change up the weapons, and YDZ are gonna fight through this. Trying to get to double digits and isolate the duels while they can. Oasis and Lover gotta lock in. Just have to buy a few more seconds. Prowler does distract Cute Asa, and that'll seal the deal. And this is take the pistol and the anti-eco. So important for Blue Water to try and climb back in this game.
Yeah, Nova left Kudasa for dry because they found a rifle on the ground, so you'll bring that Phantom into the next, so we'll take that. I mean, four classics, 5 classics, sorry, 3 kills, and a rifle picked up. They're in a comfortable spot now to play the anti-bonus. They have their gun round right now. Odin for Luna, surprisingly enough. So you would expect usually Luna trying to create aggression. But this instead is the one that's anchoring towards the A side passively with the Odin, while the rest of the team are looking for early info. This Haunt's about to get set up to watch towards that front of the A site. If there's no pressure coming through, a lot of them are going to start rotating and leading. Oh no, the Haunt missed.
All good, didn't see it.
Yeah.
we just gotta say that every time. Just forget. And YDZ. I would like them to slow down too, because you overcook, you get impatient, that's where you can get punished, and that's more of a Blue Otter thing, to be overly aggressive and impatient, so you don't want to fall for that. YDZ are just hold their positions.
But that's the thing, because of the Haunt missing at the very beginning, they have 0 information at the early round. So now you're just smoking up and trying to guess, and you're guessing that it's a push on that side. You waste more utility. Now you cut noise on the side of the attack. You can surprise him here, and finally, Luna's able to fall back.
Now the Viper wall up kind of resets things and allows YDZ to cover their tracks. Now a Haunt reveals no one close. And if anything, May should be the one making first contact, especially having the ult.
30 seconds left.
The Ghost, it's not going to be pretty, so... Odin and a Prowler all up in Oasis's face. Okay, keep them busy while the rest of Blue Otter hope to still find where that Vice wall is. And Kobe not only discovers that, but Rover too. 10 seconds. And the wall is going to delay things. Kobe is crispy today. The plant barely with 2 seconds left. The retakes in position, and Blue Water's reinforcements a little delayed to support the OBJ players. Now it's a 2 versus 2. It's
Last
Nova
player standing.
expecting the deep push from the Clove. Now it's just Sia. Buy time. Still got Thorns too, so
Can't do it anymore. You gotta create the element of surprise. You can't let them know you pushed into heaven.
oh, saw the first person and didn't go for the shot right away. The hesitation kills them, and YDZ at the very end will get the defuse with less than 2 seconds to spare to get to double digits.
Yeah, well done here for YDZ on the anchoring once again. Seeing the Odin come into play from Luna's side, and when you're trying to do similar things for Blue Otter, as soon as you're trying to get close to open up the door, an Odin sprays at you after Rover finds you with the Haunt. So there's nothing really you could do to sell that fake here on that A site. So the C site players were ready to deny and delay enough on that site. But Colby did such a great job once again opening things up for Blue Water. He gets 2 picks in the very beginning into the B site. They maintain their patience so that Lover could come through before the wall procs up so they could get a clean plant. If not, they would have lost on time. But then unfortunately, with everything else that was happening on a 2 versus 2, they just couldn't find the right positioning in the end, and just couldn't find the element of surprise as you're trying to clutch that for Sia. And that's a timeout being called by YDZ, interestingly enough, because they just won that previous round, and they just want to make sure here that there's no opportunity for Blue Otter to get value out of that plant and that loss to reset the economy from the side of YDZ.
YDZ is still trying to figure out the tempo that they want to play at. You can tell that Luna wants to get active, you know, and also technical pause. Hopefully it's not any more Discord problems, but
Love that. No, I
Luna's
still hear
trying to get... Okay, good. I will talk to myself. Yeah, Luna's trying to get active, trying to get involved, but now you're trying to play mind games against Blue Otter of whether Luna is fully committing off the stuns or just trying to get Blue Otter paranoid and kind of frozen into place. So, and also YDZ have a Nightfall. If they do want to get overly active, that could be a fun play.
I think that's definitely the thing you want to talk about too during your timeout is if this Nightfall will definitely come into play. If we're looking at how things have been going so far, though, for this matchup between these two teams, is that both Blue Water and YDZ, they seem to be wanting to play the map fairly slowly and still trying to create the pressure up towards these extremities. The only real problem that they have, though, is that even if they can't lurk the way that the capability of like the double controller that YDZ has, Blue Water still has an ace under their sleeve, which is being Kobe. If you're gonna try to challenge that on the defense, Kobe's gonna shut you down 100% with how he's been shooting so far with all these scope rifles. And you see how passive they're playing. They're not trying to find that C-mount control. They're playing a 2-2-1.
Not finding that vice wall though almost hurt Blue Water's chances to play in that last round. So I think it's still sitting on B. May still trying to trigger it.
No.
Oh, I actually got caught on the other side. Yeah, that's funny. Not funny for them.
We blame the Viper wall for that.
Yeah, it's tricky. Even I could see it, but now I need to see if Cloudsy's gonna want to throw a paranoia out, and this could be great. But Cutace is not in a position to really swing off that. It all depends on the timing. If Waste is just gonna satchel in, you haven't seen that kind of craziness from them yet.
This has to be a finish towards the C site no matter what, because now the only range that you have for Clove is to smoke towards Waterfall. If nobody's showing their hand for the side of YDZ and they're still giving up space, you're waiting for the smoke to dissipate and you're just gonna try to run through.
Face your fear!
Oasis is waiting for the entry. The nightfall begins. Oasis dashes in. The C's reveals, but only the L that YDZ. Oh, they can't do much about it. Even with the surprises, Blue Water just swing it out of the park. And wait, okay, kind of teleported into that. All good. 1 versus 3. Luna has to get active with Noted. 32 HP, a high-low, and that's a great setup for Blue Water.
And that's a great pivot back. I do like the idea that YDZ had at the beginning, because they're getting this wall pressured every single time towards that front of the B side that they place. So they set up 2 players in that area. As you spray that, you prevent the attackers from really trying to proc up that wall in the very beginning, so you're forcing them to execute towards the site. The only thing that's difficult, though, after you take down the Clove trying to break that wall, is that you didn't really have anything to hold back against a Nightfall execute. You tried to, but that Prowler that forced the off angle from whoever is playing towards that ramp. And that happens as well. When Kobe, again, is challenging towards the A side and picks you off, this is, again, a big win con for Blue Water, having Kobe playing separately on his own.
Hey, just revealing that player up close. You had the heads up, but Rover still is the better shot. The Sheriff's so deadly. Not a weapon that YDZ can easily recover, but if Blue Water are going to ditch the scene of the crime, then yeah, YDZ are going to upgrade.
They'll upgrade, but unfortunately to the cost of losing the A site, where Blue Water are moving into the right there right now. Nova, I mean, as soon as they land, foot on the ground, picked off.
Good pivot for Blue Water. Numbers still in their favor too. Some time to even head to the hill and watching over stairs. Great lineup for Oasis. This is why they're
out of charges.
One of the scariest in the lobby.
Going out.
YDZ have a Nightfall too, and maybe Blue Water expecting it, trying to play at range, out of sight, out of mind. A flash for Blue Water to get proactive. YDZ a little worried on where this attack could be coming from. YDZ are just running out of time, and now the kills are gifted to them, but the spike is ticking down. YDZ gotta find the energy.
Last player
At this point, you just gotta watch this round sail by you.
Oh, the 140. And I feel like QAsa should have waited for their teammates right towards the A start retake, because you talk about the Nightfall available, but they also had the Steel Garden available too for YDZ. If they were able to group up, you could start scaling with the Nightfall to see what type of information you get within the site. And as you deafen players within, you have no choice but to try to fall back or maybe go for the fight. Well, most than likely you try to fall back in that area, then you can use the Steel Garden with the extra space that you've gained, and then you have a chance to turn things around when you have a 3 versus 4. I understand that this was a half-buy / eco for the side of YDZ, but those two ults would have evened the playing field for YDZ.
My blinded.
Haunt denied. YDZ want to hold their ground, even have a paranoia from Cloudsy, or no, that's already been used, so Blue Water ditching that. I think they discovered the Vice Wall, I'm not sure, but 2 Prowlers still left. You need that to clear through all these nooks and crannies over on the Rebel side.
Yeah, right now it seems that you just want to play the contact for Blue Water. Making sure here that Rebel's checked in. As soon as you start moving up towards the door, start the second Prowler into tree if you're going to try to split into this A site.
Hey, knock knock, who's there? It's Oasis, but counter Nightfall from the defense. Buy themselves some time. They're out on the high ground. Oasis clears the site, but just it's not gonna have the audio cue of where everybody is. And okay, there's a lot of cooks in this kitchen. Blue Water just not able to stop it. And at the back lines, the Pistols lover is clean with it. Nova makes sure that YDZ stay on top of this round. Diffused heading towards the end. Kobe just can't stop it, runs out of bullets. And YDZ get to 11.
And you see the value that you get now when you're when you're put in a great position to utilize the Steel Garden. All of that util, or should I say, all the weapons denied. And look how fast they're flooding back within the site for YDZ. It was almost a nice clutch, but a beautiful sneak by Nova prevented Colby from pushing out and going for a heroic play for Blue Water to close that gap.
Now we wait.
But now YDZ still have a lot of ults to work with within this round. And all of Blue Water looks like they're still congregating and figure out where they want to start things off first.
Hey, getting active, getting silly. Luna just causing destruction, but just couldn't get the finishing blow. And there was just no support for Luna. Everyone's just so far away, just going for the solo heroic plays, only good for one. And Blue Water still on track. The Prowler, I mean, Rover's playing so far back. They are giving Blue Water tree and staircase and everything.
Well, through smoke gets the kill too. That's unlucky. CS down, and that's a player advantage for the side of YDZ. Yeah, despite Luna only getting one kill, it's still good enough for one kill and breaking the armor from May. Slight advantage coming out for the defense. May has to go for hero play and gets it.
Wow. Now causing havoc in the back lines. Cloudsy could find an angle coming through the staircase side. I'm gonna have anything. Maybe deny the spike plant. Was there a response here? Here's Kobe trying to fight against that and kind of being silly with it. And Cloudsy's gonna teleport out to dodge the trap.
30 seconds left.
Just trying to survive. If anything, though, they still have a good chance to
Spike
fight
planted.
the 1 versus 2. They know where the last 2 players are at. The door got open, the second one planted.
May did not move. Now trying to just swing together. 1 and 2 staggering in. That was so doable for Cloudsy, but Kobe is on top of this lobby.
Dude, Cloudsy was looking for a highlight reel of just killing players through smokes and boxes. That was so close. First one through a smoke, second one with the wall bang as the one was planning for the side of Blue Water. But thankfully, the last 2 players are able to pick that back up, pull up their pants, and making sure here that Blue Water can close that round. And finally, we're seeing the economy being broken once again on the side of YDZ. Blue Water once again closing that gap and potentially seeing that there's composition, although looked like it was much stronger for a defensive side hold.
That's a good spot.
They got manipulated a lot around the map, but now on the attack side, they're doing a good job just out-aiming YDZ on the lurks and the pushes and the scaling that they're making.
Luna up to no good again, but trying to do good, obviously. Now with the Bucky up close. Oh, the bot is going to reveal this. They don't know it's a Bucky. Oh.
How did you?
Oh. Well, I tried, Luna. I tried.
Traded what?
Jig is up.
You're traded 100 and, or 96 HP if you didn't have armor for Luna versus, what, 10 on what Oasis has left?
Definitely a win for the Blue Water side.
Face your fear!
Wait, the Nightfall is going to affect Nova and just tried to hold back as best as they can, but Blue Water, just a trail of blood behind them. Fully established into C. Now you gotta decide how you're gonna try and figure this one out, and you're at 4 HP with a Bucky and a Sheriff.
Exits once again, trying to win fights here off tools.
One enemy remaining.
Aw, Rover tried with the haunt, maybe get the timing while they were shooting the util. Be a nice exit, but I would doubt you would come through the top of the site.
Or you get
Now
wall
I guess
banged
you
in
have
3
to.
seconds.
Do they know?
Gotta go.
Oh, they know, they know. Oasis, good finish there. At least Luna is very entertaining to watch.
Definitely. And if anything, though, Blue Water is doing a great job even cycling ults. So you respect here that they went for Nightfall and also the ult from May, just to make sure that they clear space, they get the information to get further space as well in the pulse plant. And they still have Sia's ult to work with within this round. So YDZ, this is quite interesting. You're looking at what was it, a 9-3 half, right? And then for Blue Otter using 0 timeouts and now forcing bold timeouts of YDZ into the second half. That's how comfortable Blue Otter has been, despite it looking like they were, again, getting their ankles broken in that first half on how they were being pushed around and shoved around on the defensive side. But they have great ult cycles, great scaling. Everybody's putting up numbers across the board here for the side of the attack. Now YDZ, as much pressure there as they're trying to add or even anchoring up in the right spots, you're seeing so many of these rounds where they're sending up a 2-2-1 with Luna's playing solo up towards Rubble's side where they have the correct read. But when it comes down to the mid-rounding and Luna realizes, okay, there's a minute left, they could be rotating back towards my side, I gotta fall back for a bit. But there's really not the extra support coming through with Luna to help out. Blue Water is just really doing a good job getting these pulse plant and eliminations in their favor.
Water definitely ramping up in the second half. 6-2 in rounds on their offense, so a lot of good impact with their ultimates. And now Sia can help break them in using a steel garden and a pit very deep into Rubble. This is interesting from Nova and the judge too. This is a no-fly zone.
But that's the thing, it doesn't cover Rubble, it doesn't cover the door. Right now, you're just creating fear that there's somebody behind in tree and there's somebody playing inside the pit that you have to start moving and creating noise towards B and C. That's where, once again, they have a perfect 2-2-1 for the side of YDZ to try to counteract and counterbalance that.
Teleport's ready.
So it's up to Blue Water to start figuring out here where their opponents could be setting up.
Someone opens the door for Kobe, that would be a nice sight line, especially with no smokes being available. But Kobe's more on B watch as like a nice backup plan. Things don't work out. We have Cloudy still with the paranoia with the Prowler. Something is up. The Steel Garden. It's time to evacuate if you're YDZ. And over. I don't know if they got caught. Blue Water though. They're stepping up to the plate, and YDZ are around the corner. They're gonna just let this plant go by, and Luna at least gets the punish, and now it's a bloodbath. Still, Cloudsy can work with the Sentinel player, trades back and forth, and YDZ back in the game. Lover in a corner, isolated away, and that's a great smoke to do just that. And Kobe has to be the hero. No vision on the spike. And this gets defused, and this gets to YDZ to match point.
Oof. And Kobe once again almost getting the clutch, but just unfortunate when it comes down to the 1v1, just not enough time. Needed to get up to the mound to see the top of the hood here of Cloudsy defusing. But there's still 2 players pressuring against them. You wanted Rover to, unfortunately, hopefully get that one pick on that 1 versus 1 for, I think it was even Lover swinging out on the other side. So Rover to Lover, fade on fade. But unfortunately couldn't hold it. I think, sorry, it was Lover that needed to win that fight and didn't. See, I got my names confused because of that one letter. So it's YDZ
I got
getting
Nova
a
and
retake.
Neon confused.
Yeah. See, I blame text this time.
YDZ. I think they gotta bring fire to the fire because they're kind of letting Blue Water do whatever and fight for retakes. It's worked out for YDZ. That was their third one round of this half. But it's been very difficult for YDZ to close out these rounds. Now Oasis gonna help the team get a victory here with the showstopper right through B. Blindly not making contact. I don't think getting a kill this game either with that. And Luna, first blood with the judge of all things. Now threat levels from all sides and closing in blue water and even a steel garden, but it doesn't activate in time. May just comes jumping out with the shorty. The fuse will continue through and Oasis gets found, and YDZ will be taking map number 1, 13-9. In, I would say, dominant fashion, although their defense took some time to get